Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing very well. I hope you had a good weekend. We've got missiles being flung around in the Middle East. Will you join us here today at Key West International Airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024? So if you're new to the channel, as always, hit like, hit subscribe. We're going to be doing a double sector today around this beautiful part of the world and the Caribbean. And we're starting here at the MKStudios brand new Key West International Airport. All the links, as always, are in the description below as well. So we've got roughly 1.5 hours to 2 hours each way today based on weather and traffic and things. And we'll look at snippets of the sceneries at each phase of the journey today as well. Welcome, Zato. Good to see you. MPS as well. Hope you're well. David, welcome. Badger. Ian, good evening to you, matey. Chris, welcome. Hope you're all doing very well. So we're back in the PMDG 737-800 today, flying between these two islands on the VATSIM network. And I think, although you guys will be able to hopefully distinguish the difference, I think we've got the latest Boros AudioWorks scenery installed, as the sound packs for the 737 installed. So if you detect the difference, let me know. It's a really nice Key West scenery, this. The one thing I kind of was hoping to see is there's like a balloon in the sky, tethered balloon or something from the Department for Justice or something like that. So I was kind of hoping to see that somewhere, but who knows, maybe it is there further into the island, I'm not sure. But yeah, really nice details. Should probably fire GSX up for this. Request boarding. Boarding requested. Use our own stairs, no jetway. Use jetway airport stairs. Jetway, obviously. Come on. Let's go, driver training. Welcome. Good afternoon. Just about to spawn in. Not sure where I'm. Welcome. Image Seeker. Hello, buddy. Gold frequent flyer. Welcome aboard. Appreciate the support. Joining us as a channel member. It's a really cool scenery, this, I've got to say. It's very nicely detailed, as we come to expect from the MKStudios team. I don't want to do crew. Just load them already, GSX. Jesus. Becoming a bit of frustration, the old GSX stuff. So, yeah, lots of little details all across this entire airport scenery, from the Avis Preferred Rental garage on the left-hand side to these little chickens here that are animated. Pecking away, getting their little wormies out the ground. So nice little added things that actually you would probably not really otherwise have necessarily noticed unless you go round and explore the scenery. We've got a custom GSX profile I've grabbed from flightsim.to today as well, and we're going to be due to push, I think, at 1/4 past. So time is against us. Hey, this guy gets absolutely everywhere. Both of them. Proper international travellers. Elevators. A couple of little stutters like that one just then. Got really nice details here. All over the sides of the terminal buildings. David, it's 58 months, my goodness. So departures, elevators. Let's go and find them. Ticketing and departures. So let's have a little look here at the up ramp. Very nice. Externals. Is there an interior? Not on this section. 40 months, Arto. Nikki, welcome. Very well, how are you? So there's not much of an interior here. Just kind of walking through until we find stuff. So this looks like we're now airside. Badger, amazing. Yeah, bam. So there's a little bit of a weird texture look. That's a little messed up. I'm getting some stutters today as well, like then. Oh, wow. Afternoon does too. Badger, very generous. Thank you for donating a channel membership, matey. That's gone to Carl Chili's. So, Carl, you've got a channel membership for the next month, courtesy of Badger. There's a couple of real-world flights. Nicely detailed, you can definitely read those. More mega stutters. That's a big stutter, Christ. Oh, and another big stutter. Look at that, glitch in the matrix there. Again, you don't really notice these things unless you actually go and explore the family bathroom. Another big stutter. That's not creepy at all. Jeepers. Very nice detailing though, otherwise. Is someone spawned in the terminal, or is that... Get out of it! Zato! He's getting a quick Starbucks. It's the drive-through. Oh my god. What we got round here? Little gate room. Pretty nice. A little bit, when you get close, the textures get very washy though, look. Which is pretty bad. How's this level of volume for the music, by the way, folks? Because I'm using something different other than my usual Spotify that pings up, so... I hope that's not that guy moaning again on... Oh no, it's not good. Before we started today, I had somebody moaning that if you have the Asobo default layout, scenery, and you don't have the MKStudios, it puts in a stand kind of in the middle of this taxiway and one in the middle here. And somebody was like, somebody's not moving. But yeah, the default airport is not going to be good. I assume you have, whoever that is, the default airport, which proves what I'm trying to say. Same with Zato in the terminal building. But yeah, we've had a gammon winch today. Massive cruise ships in the backdrop, which are quite cool. We're not going to see those today until we return back here. We'll explore some more of the features as well, because there's looks to be a couple of bits over there in the distance too, which might be interesting to check out. Massive FBO here with a couple of statics private jets littered around, which is a nice touch. And again, there's like an interior over there for Signature Aviation's hangar. We will review that when we return. Got Global Shipping's 24 installed from Seafront Simulations. So in the background and across the ocean today, we're going to get a very nice selection of ships. Let's dive into the jet. And I'll quickly brief the charts, folks. So, a little bit of an interesting one here at Key West. If we look at the departure charts, there's the Buffett one, and that is all you've got. Which is effectively designed to have people depart north towards the US. Kind of like Florida, etc. But we're not going to do that today. What we're going to do is basically a non-standard departure. We could go north, up the island and round, but we're actually probably just going to route south. So we're going to depart from the airfield, head south, and then effectively fly like a left downwind, and then we'll go direct to route as we climb up, and then down through the Caribbean Sea over towards Montego Bay in Jamaica. Is it Orbex? Because Orbex did a Key West scenery, didn't they? Which is just a bit outdated and naff. There's a theme with Orbex at the moment, isn't there? With outdated sceneries that aren't being developed proactively. A bit naughty, really. Have we tracked on New Sky? Yes. Good. So let's sort that out. I've pre-flighted the jet already, Night Shadow, because we've done a lot of tutorials now covering the 737. And with the 2 flights, there's going to be a turnaround in the middle to kind of dive into all of this. So we're not going to go into the depth. We'll go from there. So we've got our V-speeds. It's a short old runway here at... where are we? Key West. Yeah, so short runway here at Key West. It is 1,547 metres in length, and typically we will get in and out of this airfield, from what I was looking at, mostly Embraer 170, 175s and Airbus A319s. There's our perf init page, just for your reference. Cost index of 80, transition altitude of 18,000. We've got a cruise altitude generated of 37,000 feet. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get there without having to then hit the descent all the way in. And then you've got our V speeds there, 127, 128 for rotate, 139 for V2. Legs page and the route and everything's already done, so as you can see here we've got route, Fundy, Alvev, Alvec and Zibix as kind of the departures, because we don't have, for the purpose of today, we've got 09 as the active departure, but we're not going to be using that departure, the SID that we mentioned. Just going to resync these because I've just fiddled with that to show you folks. And because of that, I've also gone for just like an 8,000 feet altitude, and also speeds we can put 149 in. In fact, I'm slightly wrong with how I briefed you earlier. Let's pop the flight directives on. Get the charts up. Because we're departing east, so 093 degrees. So we are literally just going direct route. We've got the massive Key West Naval Air Station in the backdrop as well, which is a bit of an interesting one. But that there is where that big balloon is. I'm not sure if it's in the scenery. I kind of feel like it would be great if it was. And you know, something you can actually accidentally hit and it wipe you out if you weren't careful. That'd be quite a cool little addition. But hey ho, Jay, good morning, mate. Welcome. Right, where is my checklist? So I'm going to get my 737 QRH out. And my 737NG checklist. So, what have we got? Parking brake. I've had some weird things happen with my settings. I've just noticed it's done it again today. In the controls, the parking brake seems to have gone a bit funky. So I'm going to have to go into here, twin jets, search by input, toggle parking brakes and parking brake. Why is that both on and off? That makes no sense at all. Has that fixed it? I'm getting weird behaviour like this at the moment in the sim. How is this set up? Is it in here? I have to find this. Bear with me, team. It's either that or I need to set the other mode instead. Fuel system, no. HGS, fuel damper. Performance improvement, flight test packet, carbon brakes. 2 class. Good off style switch. None of those. So it must be in options. Realistic parking brake. Oh, weird. Now it's working. There's some strange things happening in my sim. So park brake's on, gear lever and everything's already down, and we've done most of this already. So I'm just going to clear the master caution, and then we're going to pop the F1 fuel pump on and get the APU fired up. See if the signs can come on. We're on CTAF 1182. We've got our transponder frequency, our squawk code of 5631 in the box. Key West Osprey 165 ready to check. Good start. Unless nobody else is on the CTAF frequency.
Five.
Ah, awesome. Thank you, mate. That's all good. That's all set. Not sure yet. I keep meaning to, and then I get sidetracked to do, you know, flights in like this. Prepare for pushback and departure. Ground ops. We're going to release the ground power. I'm going to wait for those doors to close, the jetties to be removed. Oh, hell, a lot of warnings. Fuel is all good. That's all set. Pumps can come on.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So we've got electrics, anti-ice hydraulics overhead, and air conditioning. Amazing. All the hydraulics are on. Windshield heat as required.
Departure check.
That's all set and on.
Bypass pin inserted.
Cool. Let's pause the music. CTAF is 118.2 for Key West. Are they using CTAF in Jamaica as well?
Locking gear.
What have we got? So gear's going to be locked, so let's just remove the chocks. That's all good. Off. Pop that on there. There's our routing today, and the METAR as well. This is parallel 42 Flow Pro. Facing west is the only way.
Release parking brakes, please.
Anti-collision lights. Check new sky. Good, 3 minutes. Key West traffic, Osprey 165, stand 1, 737-800, push start facing west. Parking brake room.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Mega. Backs off. That is the anti-collision light on, yep, lovely job. Dave's with us again today, trusty Dave. Okay, engine 2, start mode selector, ground. And we monitor. Here's little A319 there, mega. Loads of you flying along. Through 20, fuel control lever to run. Sounds like Boris Audio works, doesn't it?
Please set parking brake.
Elevatex Skymaster official. Park brake set. Engine 1's good, stable. Engine 2, sorry, so engine 1 ground. You can always tell when we're doing double sectors because it's like rush, 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 go, 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 let's go! Right. Just going to pop FMS1 onto our takeoff modes. That's interesting.
Unlocking
Cell
gear.
temps reset. Just gonna have to rerun the numbers a second. Cell temp, it was assumed 32, but using takeoff sort of toga mode. 139. Good. 149 doesn't change anything.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
And got to run the fuel.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Now this should be a cinematic view. Unless my chase plane's broken. We get the ground pin. There it is. Oh, basey. Okay, 1 and 2. That's good, happy with that. We pop those mode select switches to continuous. I've been here for a little while. Is Key West GSX compatible, Night Shadow? Yes, I'm using it at the moment. You do need to go to flightsim.to and download a custom profile for it though. There's a few available and they're pretty good. I can't remember the one that I've got if I'm honest. So we've already got left side's good. Centre stack. Maybe you can come off. That's good. Aircon and pressure panels all set, ready to go. Pop the taxi lights on, auto brake RTO. Flap 15 for takeoff. Make sure I have selected that. Wicked. Brakes off. Just going to do a quick little warning recall. A couple of flight control checks. Done rudder already just because of the nature of it being linked to nose-wheel steering. Key West traffic, Osprey 165, taxiing hold point Alpha 1, runway 09er via the apron and Bravo and Alpha West. So I'm going to go heading select and VNAV. Yeah, it's static crazy here. And auto thrust arms. I've got my wing panel today. All my 737 kit out.
Apron via taxiing to the runway via the apron and Alpha. Key West traffic.
Awesome. I mean, at the end of the runway is literally just behind the right hand side of the screen. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us today in the 737-800. 737-700s fly into and out of here. Interestingly, no 800s from what I can see on current ops. So landing here later is going to be mega tough as well. We're going to have to use all of our short takeoff skills. Morning, Alex. Down under, welcome. Hope you're well. Yeah, really nice scenery by MKStudios again. Andrew, good morning. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Gotta get back in here. 21 knot ground speed. Traffic. Weather turbulence. 21 knot ground speed still. Spotted TARA. We're in the seats. We're doing some southwest taxi today. Zooming along. Now my question is, there's no turning zone. There's a cool crash pad there though. The old concrete slabs. There's something behind that tree line as well. Okay, heading select and VNAV, auto thruster arms, auto brake RTO, we're going to go fuel flow, reset rates. probes. Approach path's clear. US traffic, Osprey 169 via Alpha 1 lining up 09 and taking off non-standard departure direct route US. So can't take off here. Oh, it's me. Echo, 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 echo. Somebody's got open mic. Check your mic, somebody. Solved, whoever that was. Hold on. Right. Stick forwards. Gonna hold it on the brakes. I want kind of this set to FMC legs. That's all jolly good. Let's get it spooled to 50-odd%. Holding on the brakes. Stable. Toga. Brakes off. Let's go!
Key West traffic, Osprey 808 Yankee is
Power set.
on the apron. Lining up
Oh, acceleration central. Here we go.
80 knots.
Check. We're going to run out of runway real quick here.
V1.
Rotate.
body apron and Alpha.
Jeez!
Positive rate.
7 knot crosswind. Gear up. My goodness.
Key West traffic, Osprey 72 Romeo Alpha, lining up runway 09. Key West traffic.
Gear lever to the off position. Flaps. Set 5. CMDA engaged. LNAV. Direct route. I'll just set 18,000 for now. Flaps 1. It's a nice gentle retraction schedule. There's that massive Key West Naval Air Base. Look at that. Huge. And then over there somewhere would be a... Oh! It is there! They've put the balloon in. There's a massive static tethered balloon with a wire going all the way to the ground. That's mega. Key West traffic Osprey 165 is airborne through 3000, direct route, final call, changing to Unicom, Key West. Look at that. Wowzers. Right, that's all good. 1228, 4000. Water break off. Pop those off. They can come off. Montego Bay Night Shadow, so there are some payware options, but World Update 16 created a Asobo / Gaia Simulations Montego Bay, so it's included in MSFS 2020. Naturally it works in 2024 as well, and by the looks of it it's really nice, and it looks a hell of a lot better than the payware options that are available, so definitely check it out. When we get there, you'll see anyway the freeware scenery. We'll see if it's any good or not. Andrew says, do you think the call out, the sound voices are from Robert himself? Sounds like it to me, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure actually, matey. Could be. Where's that ruddy balloon gone? Oh, we're level with it. There it is. Ta-da! Okay, we'll be through 10. Let's get those landing lights off. We'll just wind her up to all the way up to 37. Let's just get on our way. 37. Increase that range ring. Definitely Boris. There's some amazing sounds. Wowzers. I've experienced them actually on the outside yet. Things I like the PMDG sounds as well. They're both very good. They're different in their own ways. 10,109. Change that heading collar to 10. So that's I'm trying to find it on flight radar. The balloon thing. So it's an interesting one, right? Where is it? There. So it's the United States US Customs and Border Protection Lockheed Martin Tethered Aerostat Radar System. And it's tethered to 4,100 feet barometric altitude. What it does? I will Google it, because I am curious, naturally. Let's see if we can spot some ships in the meantime with global vessels. Frontline November aerostats. Each TARS balloon contains a radar weighing about 2,200 pounds, capable of detecting aircraft at a range of 200 miles. Oh my god, it's huge! Look at that! That's what that is. Night Shadow, no. I'm hoping Wingwing or Wingflex will create one. That is massive. There's one in Puerto Rico as well, wow. It's a low-flying satellite system, but cheaper to launch and operate. Moored to the ground with special nylon fibre cable, raised and lowered with a powered winch. They can go up to 10,000 feet. Each sweep of the radar in the belly of a TARS detects all flying aircraft within the balloon's 200-mile range. Wireless transmitters send TARS radar data from each balloon to the internet cloud, where it's combined with other TARS radar data. Radar data is downloaded from the cloud at the Air and Marine Ops Center in Riverside, California. And AMOC can integrate more than 700 sensor feeds to simultaneously track 50,000 aircraft in flight over the US, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean and South America. The project began 30 years ago to detect low-flying small aircraft operated by drug smugglers. For years, traffickers moved contraband into the US by air because it was cheap and efficient. Customs authorities estimated that by the early 1980s, as many as 8,500 illegal flights per year were transporting narcotics directly from the Caribbean, Central or South America into the US. Powered by helium. Ground-based radar, drug smugglers in low-flying aircraft can hide behind terrain features like mountains and valleys. Radar installed in an aerostat, however, detects all aircraft within range, including small planes flying low and slow over the border. The US Air Force managed the TARS program until July 2013 when the program was transferred to CBP. Wow. I did wonder if the 727 would actually be able to take off from 09 Zato. Bear in mind we only just made it in a very high powered 737, fairly light on load. What did we... Our takeoff weight was 61 tons, comparable to a maximum takeoff weight of 80 tons basically, or 79,333 kilos. So yeah, we're very light. We've only got we've got 99 passengers on board, and just under 4 tons of baggage and cargo. Very true, Dusty. And was it global vessels, isn't it? I'm just going to go on to the shipping map and I want to see what ships are around us here. Key West. So not many dotted around Key West. Couple of landable container ships. There's one. Somebody asked me in a comment to a video earlier, overnight, can you see them from 20,000 feet? Well, there it is, right in the middle of the screen, if you are watching. Zoom in, because we've got chase plane, look. It's animated and sailing. We are currently 24,000 feet. We've not done the Caribbean for a while, actually, have we? Just thinking about this. I like doing a little bit of ship spotting in the sim. There's not many ships at all around Montego Bay. There's a liquid natural gas carrier that I think might be below us on the arrival, but that's kind of it. I know, yeah, we need the ATRs back out, don't we? It doesn't model all of the real-world passenger ships, Andrew, but if you check out the video I did the other day, it will showcase kind of a couple of different shipping options. There's also a video going out in the next couple of weeks in partnership with Toby that basically showcases the landable elements and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's more to celebrate the Toby Eye Tracker and its capabilities, but actually I use it as an opportunity to highlight both the Miltech Simulations Carrier Strike Group pack and also global shipping. Look at this. I mean, this was a huge world update when it got released, and there was like 6 different airports in MSFS that got dropped for it, that got added into it for free. And that's where, you know, we spent, say, 50, 60 quid on the simulator. When you think about all of the world updates that we've had, those photogrammetry updates, all of those kind of contracted deals where they will commission, for example, Gaia Simulations to handcraft some new sceneries like Montego Bay that we're going to experience for the very first time today, then actually we get immense value from the sim, don't we, in reality. I was thinking about this overnight the other day, while I was at work yesterday evening. It's probably something we take for granted. I know that's wild, isn't it? Is it the same guy from before Zato? Andrew, I'm not sure, because I quite like the is it the WFSS Singapore Changi? Oh, sorry, the Hong Kong scenery. Is it WFSS that have made it? So there's 3 people in the Philippines then, you, and then these other 2 random people in some cars that you've seen driving around with my channel sticker logo on the windscreens of the cars. Maybe there needs to be like a meet-up in the Philippines. Fly me out there in business, I'll be there. Look at that for a bit of scenery. Wow. That's amazing. That, by the way, folks, is Cuba. Is it Santa Fe or is it Cayo Largo where there is a handcrafted... Oh, it's Cayo Largo, Villa Acuna International, MUCL. So the other side of Cuba, on the right hand side, is a tiny little island, part of Cuba, and that has a handcrafted airport on it as well, which looks pretty cool. He is, Andrew, yeah. The question is, Zato, why do you not have a channel sticker on your car? Maybe you need a bespoke one for the channel sticker or the Osprey Airways sticker with Fleet Livery Creator, like a little badge or something underneath it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought PC Pilot, to be honest. Maybe years and years ago, like back in the early days of flight simming for me as a teenager, but I didn't realise it was still going. How are we doing on the old climb out? Make sure that heading bug is resynced. We're in a Boeing today after all. Planning for the ILS into Montego Bay. Good, they are all off. Just wanted to double check that. I'll put the seatbelt signs off proper. Sometimes those little views and things make it almost look like there's no packs are in the off position, but they're not. That's too nice. By the way, those of you flying for Osprey Airways, you may have missed it. We've now got the FS Labs A321neos painted with both the LEAP and the Pratt & Whitney engine options, thanks to Silky Smooth at Hughes. And thanks to Tapsy, who's also part of Hughes, we've got now the Embraer 170, now Osprey regional fleet, which is pretty cool. I haven't actually Night Shadow, no, but I do have an idea though for something that might be next week's live stream, perhaps. Very dependent though on the A340-600 from Aerosoft, because when I get the opportunity to preview that, although we've got no date whatsoever yet, we might have to be a little fluid to that, because that will naturally overtake the priorities for most of the things. There's a couple of airports around the US that I A, haven't checked out, B, want to fly into and out of, so yeah, watch this space. I think we've done the Philippines once or twice, Andrew, but not many times, matey, no. Have there been any other updates about Big Jet TV? I found some of my keybinds for the iFly 737 MAX 8 Scout driver training needed to be more in line with my setup for the Phoenix A320 family, with the way that their part breaks the keybinds for that work. Yeah, you're going to need to basically pay to upgrade to the new Fly Tampa Vegas, Andrew. I did a video on it the other week, so go back, check that out. But it kind of details all of that. But yeah, annoyingly it doesn't work. Yeah, so from what I gather, Big Jet TV, or Jerry, has basically had some sort of heart issue. He's had an operation, but during the recovery of that he's then had 2 strokes. But he's also got some, I think, issues with vision and a few other things, so he's up against it. I mean, you know, depending on how he recovers, it could be the end of Big Jet TV, ultimately. But time will tell. FMC speed, VNAV path, level at 37,000. We're at cruise. He is young, Dak, yeah. Alan, alright matey? What's your thoughts on the new 787 in the works from the Vortex team? Never heard of them. No, it was all a bit of a surprise actually the other day, wasn't it, when they kind of released themselves as a new developer. I heard, well, from what I read elsewhere, but how true it is I'm not 100% sure, but somebody was saying the other day that one of the lead developers from Indie Builds has left to become part of Vector or something like that, and has been working with Vector for some time now anyway. So whoever's in the chat, you might actually remember that as in more detail than I have. I've got a little bit of like post-night shift brain fog. But I'm very excited for it. We need a really good 787 to kind of complete that element of the Boeing long haulers, knowing that PMDG are going to work on, no doubt, a fantastic 747. We need a Dreamliner. The Kuru 787 and the Horizon 787, they're great, but they're not kind of bespoke from the ground up creations that have all of the immersion that we would come to expect from, say, a PMDG, an FS Labs, a Phoenix product, for example. But they've come out, and they've come out bold, because they've basically said they want to create one of the highest fidelity aircraft in the sim. So yeah, that's a big undertaking. It's a big statement to come out with, as well as a new developer. So I have applied to be, or asked to be, on the preview list. Whether that happens or not is up to them, naturally. I'd like to think that my integrity and my brutal honesty sometimes with the reviews that I do will kind of guide them to saying, yeah, you know what, let's send it to him. Hopefully not a massive amount of time for the Bluebird 757. Yeah, we could do with a 767 300 ER as well, couldn't we? I would very much like to do some old school Britannia Airways ops to the Greek islands with the 767 300 ER. So, well, yeah, their server has been built up kind of rapidly over the last 2 days. What have they built out so far? General FS Weekend discussion. They are going to FS Weekend, which is interesting. Some of the kind of excited commentary does give me almost like a nosebleed. Hey ho. What's the thoughts on the L1011 coming to the sim? Reasonably excited as it'll bring back memories of my childhood flying on them. Yeah, again, it's going to be a good one, isn't it? The TriStar for mini builds, that I'm super looking forward to. They frustrate me somewhat though, because I emailed them 2 weeks ago saying, look, I'm looking forward to this, I'm interested. Would you be up for me doing a preview of some sort with it, or at least on the release being able to kind of have a little look and offer my thoughts? Zero reply again, which is a common theme, but that does wind me up a little bit, or not wind me up, frustrates me, because just a basic level of courtesy to reply, even with a yes or no. I don't mind if it's a no, as long as they then say it's a no and the reasons why. So watch this space. But I would probably get that over the A340-300, knowing that the Aerosoft A340-600 is coming, because that is realistically the one that we all want, let's be honest. If I was to own any A340, I'd want the 600 as well. So budget-wise for me, I'm probably going to put the cash into getting the TriStar or the A340-600 if we don't get review copies sent over. Yeah, we're still waiting, like the Zato says in the live chat, we're still waiting for the Fokker F70 and the F100, aren't we, from the Just Flight team, which, yeah, they're both going to be amazing. And their A300 B2, old school. And that backdrop there for that scenery, wow. There's a handcrafted airport down there, MUCL for the ICAO code, that's really nice. Leave Cuba behind. It's a short old pop this. Neil, welcome buddy. 160 miles to top descent. It's going to be upon us rather rapidly. It's going to be good. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the Vector 787 progress over time. Keeping a very keen eye on that, because that's going to be very exciting. I hope they do it justice. What they've said gives me confidence that they will, which is nice. So, how are we doing on ElevateX? Let's check out the team. So we've got Oh wow, Badger's already there. Christ. Good effort. Up in front. Oh no, hold on. Badger. Oh, it's different. That's different J. Ready to go back. Nice. Then there's Badger up in front. Me. Zato. That's a screenshot from moi. Ian's flying along. And we've got two more Ospreys. Osprey number 4, is it Rob? And Osprey 96. So good little fly along today. You can see the routing. And we're expecting a landing on 07 today, so we're going to be coming in from the west and flying in over the coastline, but we'll have a couple of the hotels and things, I think, on the right hand side, but we'll find out when we get a bit closer. In relation to the arrival though that we're going to be doing today, there's the charts. Yeah. Yeah, it's well known the A340 only climbs as a result of the curvature of the Earth. You're not wrong. Right, so into Sangster International Airport, Montego Bay, Jamaica. We're going to be doing the Maxi 7 arrival. And it's effectively a 13 DME arc all the way around the Sangster VOR. So draw a big old that circle there that you can see on the charts, which I've done a terrible job of drawing over. I think I'll just zoom in and focus on it in the middle. There you go. That there is your 13 DME arc. Now an outbound radial from Sangster's VOR of 1157 of 321 degrees points us in the direction of Adsel, which is 40 miles away from that VOR. So we're going to be descending down to about 5,000 feet prior to 15 DME Sangster, and then we're going to be turning right to fly this 13 DME arc all the way around to effectively intercept the ILS at Maxi to fly inbound towards the runway 07. So we've got the ILS frequency there, 1095, and the VOR 1157 to tune. And that's kind of what it's going to look like. That's the missed approach procedure with the dashed line, but actually, rather coincidentally, that missed approach procedure is also 13 DME arc, so that works out quite nicely. It's basically the same thing. But VOR, disregard that little bit. At Maxi, we have to be at 3,000 feet, but we'll probably step down to nearer to 2 prior to hitting that ILS. And the final approach is 7-mile glide path kind of distance at 3 degrees. So we can set on our box using the Barrow 305 for decision altitude. Set, because we've got about 100 miles to top descent now, so we've got to be thinking about all this stuff. Badge just put the METAR in the live chat. QNH 1014, what's it in American money? Have a little look. METAR. Oh, it's giving me old money as well, QNH 1014. Alright. So we're going to flip that to proper money. 1014. 27 degrees. Wind 050 at 3 knots as well. Nice and calm. Happy days. What about the runway? So, nice long runway. It can obviously take some Dreamliners and things that are flying in from the UK here. So, we've got almost 3 kilometres to play with. Jordan, good afternoon. Welcome on board. Landing on 07 though is going to have us basically route down away from the terminal, but we're going to vacate on this higher speed exit at Bravo, sharp right onto Alpha, and then we'll taxi into the terminal. And I have downloaded a GSX profile for this today as well. So we shall see what we get. Parking wise, going to pin the parking charts. We'll pick somewhere around that main terminal area. And we're all good. A couple of other options for 07. There's the RMP approach, and there's also the VOR DME arc, which is slightly tighter at 11 miles. The VOR DME arc would lead you onto the Lennar 7 arrival. So if you were going to do the VOR for 07, you'd need to, instead of the Amaxi 7 arrival, you'd need to configure for the Lennar 7 arrival instead. Something to consider there. It's a slight difference. References, we've got that to look forward to on approach. A couple of hotels on the right hand side, and then rather nice approach on the edge of the island. Airport elevation of 4 feet. Caution, the runway characteristics may cause it to become slippery when wet. The PAPIs at 3 degrees are on the left hand side of the runway. Make visual manoeuvres to the north of runway centreline for distance of 5 nautical miles from runway threshold due to high terrain to the south. And the runway has a displaced threshold resulting in landing distance beyond the threshold of 2,850 metres. Landing distance available is 2848. So, we've done the QNH and the Barrow. Let's go down to our nav box. We're going to pop 15.7 in. $15.7 and 109.5. Nav 1, Nav 2, course 1 and 2. I'm going to set 073 for the course 1. And course 2, 073. And then in fix, I'm going to put Sangster SIA. And I'm going to have 253 for extended centre line. 8 miles. And I'm going to go 073 for the opposite way. Extended centre line. 4 miles. Just to kind of break those down and add the fix rings in for us. And then on plan, I'll flick that across. Step through it. There we go. We can kind of see what we're going to be doing. So, a maxi with a procedural hold there, interestingly. If you zoom on in, you can kind of see that a little bit more closely. It's very tight, tiny little cork back, like hold input. We don't really want that. In fact, is that for the missed approach? No, it's not. So that's something to consider. And to be fair, we could probably just delete that bit, neaten it up. Done. No stress. Landing weight estimations 58 tons or 58.5, so we're going to pop that in the box. I'll put 58. Oh, no, it's not. It's 57.6. Just add a couple of kilos, a couple of 100 kilos to that estimation. We'll check it nearer the time. And we've got a massive runway. We'll go for flap 30 for today. That's all set, ready to go. Order brake 1, because we don't need to worry about thinking about runway length. And I quite like, personally, to focus on having the ability to use a bit of manual braking. That's quite useful. 80 miles to stop descent. Landing elevation of 0 set. We're ready to go. got a nice, currently 40 minutes from Heathrow, 13-hour flight from Guangzhou, China in the 777 freighter. First ever mega long haul for you, nice, well done. Can't get enough of the freighter. It is great fun, isn't it? Yeah, the standard routing, Rob, that's on SimBrief, because it's SimBrief that generates it, not New Sky, is a bit weird. It has you route really far east and it adds about 20 minutes to your flight time. But you kind of head all the way east and then go through central Cuba. Whereas I tweaked the route slightly to be specific to some of the airways, just to make it a little bit more efficient, certainly because we're going to be landing on 07. I feel like we missed a trick. We should have gone to Puerto Rico for the second hop, but we'll go back to Key West because it's going to be mega hard landing 1,500 meters of runway. In reality, it's going to be about 1,300 meters and a lot of heavy braking, so it's going to be quite a fun return, that. I'm trying to think ahead actually about what our loading is going to be like on the way back, because if it is heavier than we are now, we might struggle to get this aeroplane stopped. 40 miles to top of descent, so we're going to aim for that continuous descent all the way down to 3,000. I might just wind it all the way down to 3, to be fair, and just let it do its thing. The VNAV in this is pretty amazingly precise, so we've got a maxi. It does say the hold is there, by the way, because it says hold at a maxi until ATC assigned altitude, or at ATC assigned altitude, unless/until cleared by ATC to execute the ILS runway 7 approach procedure, which is why that hold was in there. It wasn't an error, it was there correctly as part of the nav data. It's interesting because they'll have aircraft holding down to about 3,000 feet. And they fly 6-mile legs on the hold. Wow. That's crazy. I suppose they have to because of the big heavies that go in there. Makes it easier for them to control their speed with the longer hold and things. So a maxi is going to be 3. I will just wind it down to 3. I think that's much easier. You have. As have I. I might have overran in Santos Dumont once and ended up in the sea. Let's reset the MCP. Now obviously if we get ATC come online we'll change that so it's not just set to 3,000 feet. But that's now set. It's nice to be using this wing panel again actually, and all of it is working really nicely in the PMDG 737-800. I've got the wing or the wing control. It's hard to give it its new name because we're so used to calling them wing. But yeah, I've got the wing control FMS. And then I've got their autopilot panel and their EFIS, plus the amazing wind control Orion rudder Airline metal pedals, the 3.2 metal pedals. They're superb. Really been enjoying every moment of using those. Got a busy week ahead. Miss getting a new car. Very last minute though, comms from the salesman going, "Oh, can you get it on Tuesday?" Which is very last minute because we haven't had a chance to get a decent insurance quote. So we're going to have to pay through the nose for a very last minute policy, effectively. Which is what I was pretty much doing prior to the stream today. I was spinning a whole load of extra plates trying to sort all that out. But exciting nevertheless. Got to get a little dog guard for the doggo. Being boot. Okay, quick little recall check. Double check the old pressure panel. And we've got 15 minutes till head on down. This fuel's good. It's a good little route. It's like I was going to say Manchester there and back, but probably more like a Leeds Bradford there and back, isn't it? They do, but some of them then charge admin fees, which are like 34 quid and that sort of stuff. Annoyingly, her normal policy is up on the 18th of March. But if you change, even for the last 2 weeks, the registration plate and put a new car on it, they reassess the risk for the newer car, so that, and it's only, say, a couple of quid, but then they potentially, depending on the insurer, then charge you the admin fee as well of like 30 or 40 quid. There's kind of almost no point. Some of them don't do it, some of them do. It's a bit Wild West with insurance. I think the one that she's going for, have given her an amazing price, and then when she's wanted to actually get it, they've said that they want to track the driving for 30 days via an app. And they monitor your driving for 30 days. Down we go. Enough path. No, it's not required in the UK at all, DAC. It's just insurers trying to data mine, I think. I personally won't go. I won't insure with someone who wants to track my driving. I can give them my qualifications to show how I've got substantial quantity of training above and beyond the normal person driving around the roads in the UK. But even then, that doesn't necessarily give me a discount. But I will not have them tracking my driving via an app, personally. one of the things that's crept in, certainly in the UK, I'd be interested to hear if it's like that for you guys in other countries, but for new drivers in the UK, when you first pass your driving test now, to get anywhere near a relatively affordable insurance price, a lot of insurers now are basically forcing people to have black boxes installed in their cars where they permanently monitor their driving for the entirety of the policy. Not a massive fan of that either, to be honest, but then at the same time part of me thinks it is good in some ways, because how many kind of new drivers do you see bragging around in little boy races and stuff, and you think, well, actually you can kind of see the benefit in one way, even though it's very invasive. If it means that I can pay a cheaper premium by people of a higher risk having a higher price, not just through like a generic algorithm, then I'm kind of somewhat for it, but I'm not at the same time. If that makes sense. I did a hazard perception test a few years ago for something, for example, and the training I've had at work is such that you see the hazard before the hazard has even become a hazard, before it's been developed, and basically advanced driver stuff. And because of that, you kind of take steps to mitigate against that hazard before it's become a potential hazard to you. But when you then go and do a hazard perception test, which is like the videos and you click on the screen when the car in the junction pulls into the junction too quickly and then nudges out a little bit, that's a hazard. Click. And it's like scored 1 to 5 of how quickly you see the hazard. Quite a lot of folks I work with, and including myself, struggle with those hazard perception tests, because the moment you see the tiny bit of the bonnet, you actually somewhat react a little bit quicker than the scoring band allows for, because of the nature of our training. And it means that tests like that are somewhat probably more difficult than they need to be for us, because we will deal with the hazard before it's even became an actual hazard. That's, in fairness as well, what has saved me on my motorbike multiple times. If I hadn't have done the advanced driver training in my actual car, or for driving actual cars, I'd have probably been smashed off the motorbike by now, for the amount of idiots on the road. Brake required, just to have a little speed brake out, because it's wanting to descend a little bit more sharply here for the VNAV path. So I'll just help it out. It is a good subject. I mean, I assume you're an IAM advanced driver, scout and driver training. So you kind of know what I mean. You see the hazards and react to them before they even actually present as a hazard. Ooh, CTAF. 11875. Bring that range ring in. Ian, I don't think you have filed a flight plan, mate. Just for your awareness. Just spotted that on VATSIM radar. I don't know, Night Shadow. You'd probably get the blame. Ed, an airport profile gives you custom pushback and a whole load of other stuff. Through transition, let's go to local pressure. It's really important that for certainly payware airports, if you have GSX, you then go and find custom profiles for each one, because it gives you that custom pushback bespoke to that airport, but it also is tailored so that the parking positions on each of the stands then are accurate as well. GSX does an okay job of doing it by default, but pushback, for example, with the default GSX is quite generic still. So if you can find a good pushback, a good airport profile for GSX, where the creator of that has taken the time to customize the names of the pushback like we had at Key West today, it makes it very easy for you to distinguish and actually push back quite accurately because of that. Tiny little bit of speed bait cracked out again for this descent. Look. That's looking good. Let's get the nippers in the seats. And there's Jamaica. I think this is the first time ever flying into Jamaica. Certainly in MSFS 2024. Maybe we did it years and years and years ago at the old, very start of the channel. But that was a bit of an aggressive VNAV correction. Right. 1875 Sangster. That VNAV speed's going to bleed off now at decel point that we're just passing. Sangster International traffic, Osprey 165, Boeing 737-800, QNH 1014 through 11,000, descending 3,000, passing ADSEL, the ADSEL transition of Axis 7 arrival ILS, DME 07 will report in the VOR DME arc. Sangster traffic. Oh, awesome, Dursey 2. How many of those are on VATSIM though? BVX 12. That's amazing. 12 flights on VATSIM at the minute are Osprey Airways. $156 flights online. Which means that we are nearly 15% of all the current flights on New Sky right now. One virtual airline. We're getting bigger. $10,000. Landing lights, runway turn-off lights. They're all set. Cabin shine. Drag required again. Just help it out a second, because it wants to intercept another VNAV descent path. And the airport is like, I think, right ahead of us. It is. Bang on, right ahead. So that there is basically going to render into Sangster International at some point soon. I think GSX needs to improve with like the recreation of all of the people that are animated. I think they could do with making like, you know, bearing in mind graphics are as good as they are now, they're so good. When you then see like the GSS people board, the animations are very old and clunky. It kind of gives you like FSX vibes sometimes, and you can see the newer people versus the older people as the passengers as well. There's quite a difference sometimes. Have we loaded them in today? Oh, we have. This is a terrible time to be doing this, but yeah, you can see like the newer people versus the older people that have been in GSX for years. That's been a character for a long time. That's new. There's one of the old boys. Where's the guy with the massive tats on his head? Do you remember that? There he is. It's a GSX classic. That's disgusting. Right, we're going to have to go to speed intervention here, and I want to set 205. Sangster traffic, Osprey 165 is entering the 13D ME arc via Osaxi for the ILS-07. Will report established, Sangster. Final check. Quarter brake set. Parking brake is off. 1095, 1095 for the ILS, super important. The LNAV path has given us the arc, which is amazing. I'm happy with the speed to be up at the moment. I don't want it to just don't want it to run away. I want the deceleration to be very prescriptive for me, my own preference. And what have we got for a runway heading? 073, wasn't it, for course? .103 will be a good intercept, therefore. We're going to bring the heading collar back up to 30, really important. And then I want our reference page, so yeah, 138, 143 for our approach speeds. Here we go, folks. So, what have we got? Pretty good. If we were doing this manually, we would turn 10 degrees, twist 10 degrees, turn 10 degrees, twist 10 degrees, so on and so forth. But the LNAV path does this beautiful arc. Go to vertical speed mode, and I'm going to just go for 1300 feet per minute. Speed check flap 1, limiting speed to 250. A little bit of speed brake just to help her out. Very exciting. There's a ship. Global Different Simulations Vessels Global Shipping 24. Methinks. Bring that range ring in a tad bit more, so we have 5 mile range. Here we go. You're making me crazy. There's a posh little resort down there, I think. So we kind of come in over the terrain for a few seconds. We're going to go 800 feet per minute. Just to smooth out this final bit of descent. Speed brake can go away. Now it can be armed for depart for the touchdown. Then we're kind of crossing in over there. So where's the runway? I can't really see it. There it is. Ta-da! Speed checked. Flap 5.
Seeing some traffic, Osprey 808 Yankee is overhead and still at flight level 100, inbound for an ILS approach to runway 07, via maximum 7 arrival.
Set 180.
Seeing some traffic.
That is our 30-degree intercept there. Just wiggled the heading bug to reactivate that, wake that back up. And now we're levelling off that. We'll get that deceleration to 180 pretty quick.
Osprey 22 Romeo Alpha inbound Linar via the Linar 7 arrival. Expecting ILS runway 07 for Sangster. Thanks for traffic.
Go for 500 feet per minute, 2000. Heading select. Approach mode armed. I'm going to round the heading bug to 100 degrees just because that's easier. Actually, I might level this at 2,500. That'd be a good one for us. Oh, it's not. We're in heading select mode. It's not captured.
2,500.
There we go. VOR lock. That was interesting. 12 miles. Did a bit of weirdness there in heading select mode, didn't it? So 073, 073, 180. Sangster traffic, Osprey 165, established 12-mile final ILS 07 to land. Keep 180 up for speed. Glide slope captured in a mo.
Thanks for traffic, Osprey 2172 is inbound via the Linar 7 arrival. Inbound to Delta 321 Mike, expecting the VOR approach into
Nice.
runway 07, and we'll report with established on the island. Thanks for traffic.
Speed check 180, gear down. Flat 15's 201 knots, so set flat 15. .160 till flat 4 DME, just to help the spacing for the folks behind. Go, lovely job. Just a veteran, yes, I think it is, matey. I've got it installed. Okay, flat 30. What is the missed approach? 3,000. We'll get that set ready.
Sangster traffic, Osprey 72
Yeah, it's
Romeo
great, isn't it?
Alpha. Turning final 07, call established on the ILS. Sangster traffic.
Quick flyby on short final. Zoom zoom. Even the external sounds are great, aren't they? Pop those on as well. I tend to forget those when I've not been in the 737 all that long. Right, where are we at? 60% odd for the throttles. My throttles. I have control. And what I wanted is 138, 143. Get your power. 4 mile final. A little bit of change of wind. There we go.
$500. 400. Approaching minimums. 300 minimums.
72
Continue.
Romeo Alpha, established on a localizer. Correction, fully established ILS.
Great blue sea there.
Final runway 27.
This is a freeware Asobo Handcrafted Scenery.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Down. Reverse screen. Nose wheels down. Is that Badger in front? I think it is. We've missed Bravo. That's there. I'm not going to slam the brakes on to achieve it. Let's quickly get some outside yes. Look at that. Now a bit of manual brakes. Get rid of the reversers. Cool, and that all is kind of happening in the background. You never see that from the flight deck. Lovely job. Flaps up. Ground spoilers disarmed. Probe heat off. Make it tight. Almost missed the turn because I was too busy faffing. No way, Dursty 2. You should still kind of carry on from where we left off, no? Sangster traffic. Osprey 165 is vacated 07 at Alpha, taxiing down Alpha to the apron via Foxtrot.
Sector traffic, Osprey 72 Romeo Alpha.
Set. Traffic.
3 mile final, runway 07. Sangster traffic.
So pop the landing lights off, runway turn off lights off, taxi lights on, strobe steady to steady on the boss lights, traffic modes off, weather radars off, and we'll just kind of get a little bit closer before we see what's available. Ah, bloody hell, Dursty 2. What parking is available nearby, Andrew? So this is a custom profile for somebody asking. I think maybe 4. We'll go for stand 4. Don't need to follow me. And we will use the GSX bits. Zato's in the 727 Super 27. Just the old sandals hangar. Those overpriced holidays. Touchdown. For 3 and 5 are available. Cool, cheers, mate. It's telling me everything's too small.
Sangster traffic, Osprey 2 so correction, Osprey 72
6.
Romeo Alpha vacated via Bravo.
3, 4, 3,
via Alpha.
3, 5. Where is 5? Okay, so it's a straight line. In here. There we go.
traffic, Osprey 808 Yankee is established on the ILS, 12 miles.
There we go, screw it.
Thanks for traffic.
Dave's debating his career choice. So what have we got here? That says 17 or 11.
And Sangster traffic, Osprey 2472, established on the ILS, 8 nautical miles.
Ah, Christ.
I'll try and keep the speed up as much as I can so you're behind. Thanks very much, I'll try and keep the speed off.
This is not payware, Night Shadow. This is the Asobo freeware handcrafted from World Update 16. There are payware available, they're not anywhere near as good as this. Just, I've got lost, so we just go back round. Screw it. Christ almighty. Somebody give me a map. Is that 6? I said 5, didn't I? Mega. That's this one here then. Taxi lights off. Oh, almost forgot the APU then. Here we go. Great score, mate. Now the question is, how good is this GSX profile? One would suggest not very good, seeing as though it wants me on an entirely different line, it seems. How far across does she want me? Oh yeah, well off. Cool. We park ourselves up. Go absolutely mental. Hold on, I've put the brakes on. What the heck? Jeepers. Definitely got some gremlins in my brakes. Definitely not going to get the old Gangnam style for that parking, my goodness. So that's the difference between a good GSX profile and like this one that I've picked really bad. Anti-collision lights off, because that was well off. So before I just move, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to New Sky, sorry. I'm going to close the flight, get the score. Ah, bugger. 0.01 deduction, cheeky. Oh well. I'll take that. And that's going to allow us now to go to GSX. And I'm curious. Reposition here. It's just dragged me even further forwards. Well, that's well out, isn't it? Oh well. Done it now. Right, request deboarding.
Thanks for traffic, Osprey 808 Yankee, it is on 3 mile final. And thanks for traffic, Osprey 242, exit is active runway, taxiing to the gate.
There he is, I missed it. Trying to faff around with that parking. It's down. GSX is giving me massive stutters. That's what's causing these blips. So when I said we had stutters at MKStudios, for the Key West, it's that, by the looks of it, look at that, there we go again. It's got to be GSX related. Unless it's Umberto, in which case it's your fault. Trying. Oh. Right, we're going to kind of set up here for a bit of touchdown cam. best we can. That GSX is going to wind me up, beeping away. And we shall then plan for the return journey. God, these stutters are doing my neck in today. Here we go. Nice. Yeah, I wonder if it's GSX related. So I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes getting our next sector prepped in New Sky. MKJS, isn't it? Sangster to KEYW. Oh, this bloody GSX thing is going to do my head in today, isn't it? Door management. Open the ruddy things. This is probably partly because PMDG have kind of pulled the support off, like the plug for the GSX. The annoying thing is, it's such a good tool. Not using it is really not that fun. Open left entry, you're kidding me. Disarm, open. Choffinek.
Thanks for traffic, Osprey Airways Yankee has vacated runway. Taxi to gate. Thanks for traffic.
Mega, that took ages. That jetty hasn't quite reached either, look. So yeah, this is where like a profile like this that interestingly had 5-star reviews. Said it was for the Asobo guy I want. Clearly isn't. Or there's some sort of mapping data issue, perhaps clashing between the two. Hard to tell sometimes. We've got one more on final by the looks of it. Right. So I'm just going to set up. The heck? These stutters are really bad today, aren't they? There's no rhyme or reason for it. There's another stutter. Except for we were using GSX in Key West and we got stutters, and we're getting the same now. There's got to be something to that. But as Umberto says, GSX has never caused a crash to desktop. Oh, we're going to be a lot heavier. We've got 140 passengers. Roughly the same amount of luggage. 15:15, 1 hour 25 return. Book the flight. The good thing is I can prep using my WinWing hardware whilst we watch these landings. Very handy. That's set, that's set, that's set. 07 arriving on 27. Really? Go for 09 again, just because. First waypoint in your route does not connect with any SIDS. You're not wrong. SimBrief hasn't generated a single departure. So where's that going to be routing us towards? What a nightmare. I'm going to have to use SkyVector again, aren't I? You can this is where you can tell that sometimes people don't fly around this part of the world often enough. Because you end up with an absolute mess. I think I'm going to say Epsim. I'm going to make my own route up here. Epsim. And it's going to have to be that airway all the way up through Zeus and then cutting in. Old tib. I'll put it in the live chat, team. That's what I've kind of generated. What's that going to bring us up to though? To the Hall's transition, or yeah. So it's going to be the Alu-25 RNAV departure transition Halls, HAWLS. Bloody heck! It's a right old mess. So Alu-25. Balls. Analyze route? Yeah. There we go. Hopefully that helps with your flight planning.
Montego Bay traffic Osprey 9607 5
What about Key West for the arrivals? I'll have a quick check of the old chat. Approach Fantasy 1 or Kraken 1, so we're not going to be flying any arrivals whatsoever, because they're all from mainland US. Instead we're going to be self-vectoring to the RNAV, either 27 or 09. Oh Christ, I've not done an RNAV approach in this in a very long time. I feel like I may have forgotten how to do it. Not ideal. We'll make it up as we go along. I reckon maybe Goose Hill then is probably going to be a waypoint we delete. No, we want to board more passengers. Oh. 34,000 feet for the return, wowzers. Okay, so it looks like that is now done. Got a whole new route loaded in on New Sky. Let's activate that route. Then on GSX, request boarding. Last pilot in for the Sector 1 leg. Awesome touchdown. Good effort. Right. Where are we? So that's all open. Jolly good. EFB. Get some new data. And then let's turn our attention to the FMS. So we're going to go index, and we're just going to kind of work through it all again. So this time we've got MKJS, stand 6, routes, flight plan requests, invalid entry because I've got to clear off the MKJS at the bottom. I always forget that. Sim brief route, set payload, set fuel, select route. And then we're going to load it in. If you enjoyed today's live stream, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a like. Ithona, good morning from the US, welcome. Ian, good effort, mate. Dusty, what on earth? I've just had Greenpeace come knocking on the door. Just said I'm pretending to burn virtual fuel now, bugger off. Lovely job, that's loading in. Let's activate and execute. Then we want a per finite request box. Brilliant. What a great start. That's got to be nonsense. Estimate takeoff to 60. Yes, that's the correct way. Hold on. Optimum. That's probably why. Anti-ice off, air conditioning on. No, what the? Well, the world's biggest runway. Oh, that's why. Ta-da! Nailed it. So, we should have had a D rate. But when I clicked import from OFP, it didn't reset the runway ID. Small thing. I mean, in that scenario, if I think like, oh, it's going to really bugger up, then I just simply revert to, you know, SimBrief's flight plan performance tool. So that's all good. Back to the box. Perfing it uplink. Bam. And what was our cruise altitude? Memory of a fish today. 34,000 feet, wasn't it? So flight level 340. Run that into the box. That all looks pretty good. And then our performance calculations from here. So it's going to be cell temp of 56. Takeoff profile 2 D rates, climb profile 2 D rates, and flaps 5. So I'm just going to put all this in the box, like so. There we go. And then we're going to pop the departure in. So we said a moment ago it's the Lutu 5 Halls transition, runway 07. So I'm just going to make a note of this. Lutu 5 Halls. A bit Laro for when I start doodling with altitudes and things. That looks pretty good. We'll execute that. And then in departures and arrivals, we're going to turn our attention to Key West. Have I loaded this in from Navigraph yet? Oh. So I'm just going to double check all of this. 09's still on arrivals, look, so it's going to be the RNAV 09. And then we have a couple of options, and Vaned is the transition that we want to kind of have us in on like the extended downwind, right downwind. But you'll see Gusel is up here as our arrival. We kind of don't want that. If we routed up to the other transition that was kind of up here somewhere on the charts, the problem we then have is that massive tethered balloon. So from a kind of safety perspective, wouldn't route that way. So what I'm going to do instead is go Tania straight to Vaned. So before I put that in the box, I'm going to go to next page, and I'm going to delete Gusel. Departures and arrivals, Key West, runway 09, oops, RNAV 09, sorry, Vaned, execute. And then in the legs page, right at the bottom, we've got Tania, and then discontinuity, Vaned, which we can just close off, so we seal the gap. And then we've got the RNAV approach. Happy days. Route data, winds request. That's boarding complete. A quick fuel flow reset rate. Get rid of the charts because they're on your display still, I believe. Execute that. So we're just pulling in all of our descent winds and everything else as well. The QNH at Key West is altimeter 299 at 8. Like so. So that's all set, ready to go. So what have we got? Init refs, M1 limits, all that is set and checked. We've done the departures, therefore we can now select our V speeds, 143 for a V2. Add 10, 153. Runway heading here from 07 is 073 degrees. We already have that set, so that makes life a little easier. And the Alutu 5 departure is going to have us depart to waypoint Alutu and then 353 degrees to Halls at or above 5,000 feet. So I'm just going to set 5,000 now, and then we're going to read the rest of the charts. Proceed 073 course of Tetsu, then direct Alutu, cross at or above 1,300, climb to assigned altitude. Halls transition, cross at or above 5,000, then as filed. So I'm going to set 10, just so we've got less work to do on the departure. Always nice to kind of take a little bit of stress and pressure off. Weirdly enough, a Tetsu, by the way, is a waypoint right at the end of the runway, which is a bit weird, because surely it's easy to just say fly runway heading after takeoff, direct Alutu. Don't know. Strange. Often you see a waypoint right at the end of the runway. So that's all good, that's all set. Barrow we can reset, get rid of that on the box. And we also need to recycle the flight directors, because they're still in POR lock mode. So that's all good. Overhead panel, 34,000 set for our cruise altitudes. Quick check of the overhead, all the fuel pumps and everything's still on. Little ding ding for the old crew. And I'm just going to check off pre-filed now the flight plan. Lovely. Key West, Key West, Key West, Key West, Key West, Key West. Mega. Right, I think we're there, team. Landing dispatch, landing on 09 at Key West. Runway conditions thankfully are very dry. VOF 135. Flap config 30. Probably going to want full flap 40 for this. Yeah. That's because we haven't got the right fuel load set just yet for that, but that's all pretty good. Right, 11875. Left is clear. GSX, prepare for pushback and departure. There we go.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
It's gonna be a weird pushback. It looks like we need to manually close all the doors. We'll let the crew off, it's hot.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Before we push, actually, I just want to show. Zarto, no worries, buddy. Have a good one. I know it's late for you. Close, close, close. Have we done chocks? Remove chocks. I'll do that as well. I'm going to quickly go to drone cam. I want to show you just a little bit of this freeware handcrafted Asobo scenery from World Update 16. It's pretty cool, look. There's a little tower there with some people in it. Detail landside's quite nice too. This is free. World Update 16. Caribbean World Update in MSFS. 2020 and 2024. But look at all that little bit of detail there. I mean, granted it doesn't have all the hotels and all that sort of nestled off. You've got a couple of hotels there. But a lot of detail here dotted around, which is very nice. But more impressively, GSX definitely locked that up again. You've got all of this kind of custom departures area. Really nice intricate flooring. And then you've got this, which is pretty much the same looking as the payware sceneries that are almost 15 quid. But dare I say, to a much better standard. Look at that. Go in, welcome. Pretty cool, no? So that's all good, that's all set, that's checked. EFB tagged. Set up as required. Anti-collision lights on. And we want to go to continue pushback. We want to face west. Nose right, Alpha taxiway. I assume it's that. Let's find out.
Release parking brakes, please.
Sangster traffic, Osprey 165, stand 6, QNH 1014, Boeing 737-800, push start, facing west on Alpha. Sangster. Park brakes off.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Mega. Let's turn that off. Installation valve open. I knew I'd forgot something. Engine 2, ignition background. I've put the beacon on, haven't I, yet? And I have started New Sky, haven't I? Yep. Jolly good. Route 10E, we go run. Stand 5, not stand 6. Christ. Brain fog. Oh, that's good.
Sangster traffic, American 1202, taking off for runway 7 to loop 25. I'll try to please advise Sangster.
Run. 522 for trim.
Please set parking brakes.
That's set, that's looking good. Engines 1 and 2 are stable, so both of those ones continuous. Gen 2.
Unlocking gear.
Gen 1. Pax auto. APU off. Probes on. That's set. No warning lights. Anti-ice off. Looking good.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Ian, so I was kind of hoping to be in the FS Labs A321neo today, because that's almost sort of what I wanted to try it in. But yeah, I haven't really used it much since. It's an amazing bit of kit though, really genuinely stunning bit of kit. Goes the American. I'm going to zoom out and do some quick control checks while we watch him rotate. So I'm just going to do rudder, elevator, nice, and aileron. Jolly good. So flaps 5, ground pin, which has already given us the wave. Cell temp 56, takeoff profile 2, that's going to be good for us. Auto brake RTO, that's set, trim set, flaps set, brakes off. I'm going to be lazy and put TCAS and with the transponder on now, so we don't have to look down in a mode. Taxi lights on. Yeah, I'm hoping Wind Control do come out with one.
Traffic,
Watch
Osprey
this space.
272, pushing back to stand 15, facing to the west.
Depends how much you want an overhead panel, really. Because the Wing Flex one is very good, but if you've got a plethora of Wind Control products, then it's nice to just have all one manufacturer, isn't it, sometimes? Sangster traffic, Osprey 165, taxiing by Foxtrot and Alpha, hold point, runway 07, correction, yeah, 07, Sangster.
Sangster traffic, American 1202, passing Alutu at 2600, final call, Sangster.
Little VOR on the hill over there, and the main control tower in the backdrop. I think actually, come to think of it, I think we've flown here once on the stream in the past. Might be wrong. I feel like I recognise that sort of viewpoint. Definitely nice to be back in the 737s, that's for sure. Yeah, Ian, so it is VATSIM compatible, the Wing Flex, which makes it pretty good. Got mostly a headwind, a tiny little crosswind for us though. And I don't think anyone noticed, but on the departure at Key West, I think I forgot to precisely set the takeoff trim. Got fun oopsie there for you guys. 3 clicks of the pen, good luck. Okie dokie, approach path is clear, it's the 07 hold line right here. Let's go. Sangster traffic, Osprey 165's lining up 07 for the taking off a Lutu 5 departure, Falls transition, Sangster. What a mouthful. Those waters are amazing. A lot of resistance on this runway. I have to go heading select mode arms because LNAV isn't going to arm for me for some reason. Cool. Kick the tyres like the fires. I forgot to do the LNAV VNAV auto thrust arm. Power set. It's the problem when you get distracted so easily in the sim.
80 knots.
Check. There's so many good things to look at sometimes. You get sidetracked from actually operating the jet.
V1.
Rotates. A little bit too risky on the rotation there. You're up. There we go. Got to get back in the jet though for the turn. Jan, hello. It is the Chorus Audio Works sounds. super slow climb this. Brake off. That can come off. When we turn off lights, those can come off. Oh, now VNAV CMDA engaged. Sangster traffic, Osprey 165 is airborne through 2000. Alutu final call to Unicom. Sangster. Are you using the correct profile though, Jan? Are you using the experimental branch?
Sangster traffic, Osprey 2472.
Otherwise, if not, it won't work.
07
I've done that. I feel like I've forgotten something, but let's go flaps up. Turn that up. Increase the range ring. Give me 80. I'll do. Balls. Just keep trying. It might just be that you've missed a step. 34. Let's set that. Because I quite enjoy flying the E-jets now. Now they're kind of at that point of decent stability for me. I thought, yeah, actually they're pretty good fun. Off we go. Sector 202. Good old black little kind of line there, the old tile of the ocean. 250, 34. We turn off lights, let's get the landing lights off. And let's get them released. So we're flying straight line.
Thanks for traffic, Osprey 2472, lining up runway
Pressurising
07.
nicely.
Expecting the Alutu 5 by the hall transition. Thanks for traffic.
Jan. So is that... What are you doing at takeoff? You're not arming a VNAV mode prior to takeoff, are you? Because if you do, then that's what that does, effectively. But if you don't set the right takeoff mode with the E-jets, what you'll find is the flight director will kind of straight away after departure want you to level off, and basically it doesn't care about the terrain. It's very different to what you're used to. If you try and fly it like a Boeing, you'll have some problems, and if you try and fly it like an Airbus, you'll have some problems. It's like this weird blend of both kind of worlds, but it does take your time to get your head around with the E-jets. When you do get your head around it though, then you're like, actually this is pretty brilliant. The kind of psychology behind what Embraer have tried to achieve in their jet. I still can't get my head around the weird yoke, the kind of like upside down V-shaped yoke. Check the EFB as well, Jan, just to make sure that you haven't got hardware overforce. So in the E-jets there'll be an option, and it will be like forced override or overforce throttle or something like that. Make sure that's off. Otherwise you might find auto throttle won't want to connect. Yeah. Yeah, well, how can it be even comfortable to hold a yoke like that? But maybe actually it's weirdly ergonomic.
2472, airborne passing 2,700 feet on the LV25 departure. Final call, thanks.
Flight operations at Dubai and Dubai World Central Al Maktoum International have been suspended until further notice. Impact of UAE airspace closure, the EK216 diverting to Rome, 226 diverting to Munich, 230 diverting to Warsaw, 202s diverting to Vienna, 236 diverting to Budapest, and 212 diverting to Prague, and they're all from the US. So you've got the flight from LAX to Dubai that's diverting to Rome, JFK to Dubai diverting to Vienna, San Francisco to Dubai diverting to Munich. All three of those are A380s. Washington to Dubai, another A380 is diverting to Prague. That might be the first time an A380's gone to Prague. Chicago to Dubai, Boeing 777s going to Budapest. Seattle to Dubai, that's a 777-300 again, going to Dubai, and that's diverting to Warsaw. Neil, nice, yeah, I bet there's been a lot of movements. The Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific flights that were going to Dubai have turned around halfway across the Indian Ocean, and they've just basically gone back to Manila. Oh, Ian, they're flinging missiles around in the Middle East, basically. You know what? When I saw that the US Air Force had moved their F-22s to Israel, oops, standard pressure. They're SEADS platforms, aren't they? They are suppression of enemy air defence aircraft weapons platforms. So the second they moved those, the F-22s, to Israel, I was like, right, now it's going down. Like, we're going to war. And then I joked yesterday, didn't I, at 4 PM in the club lounge, in our channel members lounge. I was like, how long until we reckon the US are slinging Burger King containers into the desert? And it's like 14 hours later, not even that. They're hooning missiles and stuff. But the problem is, stuff like... Oh, I forgot to do that myself. Stuff like flight radar, I think, is bloody terrible for national security, because you've got all these civvy flights being tracked around the world, and it's all great for us to watch. But how many of those flights more recently have been US military aircraft being tracked, staging into the Middle East? Oh yeah, there's a whole like a gap now for flights. Yeah, Dubai's airspace looks basically there's so many adverts on this awful flight radar now on the free version. So in Muscat and Amman, they've still got flights operating, but beyond that, looks like Dubai's airspace is closed, Qatar's airspace is closed. The Qatari Air Force have got a load of military aircraft up. The RAF 2 weeks ago passed an entire squadron of RAF Typhoons into Qatar as well. And then you've got flights to Dammam still operating, but beyond that, there's a huge gap now. The massive number of aircraft are routing up through, is it Azerbaijan, where Ashgabat is? Yeah, but the problem is, yeah, we don't know about most of these things, naturally, and we shouldn't. But Flight Radar 24, for example, destroys OPSEC. It basically renders operational security nearly impossible because of all of this nonsense being displayed. I mean, yeah, the fact they've got this an ident private aircraft there buzzing around. They had a Typhoon on here a second ago that's since vanished. But this whole space now looks just dark. And Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. That's where everyone is effectively routing through now by the looks of it. In air, there's a Speedbird 139 as well going to Mumbai that's having to route all the way up through Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. But then you've also got Pakistan lobbing missiles with the Afghans. This whole region's been an absolute pile of mess for years though, that's the problem. Kuwaiti airspace is closed, Iraqi airspace is closed, Iranian airspace is closed, Qatar airspace is military only, Bahrain airspace is military only, UAE airspace is completely closed. Oman are limiting flights and they've cancelled a whole plethora of flights. Apparently Saudi Arabia has been getting lobbed with a load of missiles as well from the Iranians, but they've got a whole load of aircraft still operating in and out of here, so that must have been a threat that's been mitigated or dealt with. But yeah, most of them won't be using mode Charlie, but for the all the reach flights that have been mooching around, moving stuff around, they've all been very easily identifiable and watchable, and they've been actually some of the most observed flights. Oh, this morning I went on and I went into Dubai, and it was like Dubai World Centre or one of these anyway, Sharjah or Dubai DXB. And the amount of private jets that all of a sudden were appearing for people, all the rich people basically, just running away. NANA, CIA. Oh, this was always going to happen. with a bit of different Cuba. Niels has been 12 F-22s, 6 F-35s through Lake and Heath already, plus 30 US-based F-15s stopping through, 12 F-22s and 12 F-35s sitting there now waiting to move further east if needed. Crikey. This is what I can't stand though. We've basically, as well, our government have said, you're not using any of our bases for this, but Diego Garcia, for example, should be utilised. I mean, again, we don't want to suck ourselves into it. That's the thing, but it will happen anyway. Depends on what happens over the next. Over the weekend, I think the weekend is key. The weekend is really, really key. We've been here before, haven't we? Look at the Gulf War. We go back in time, and the Arab Spring and all that sort of stuff as well. Where they all started fighting each other. Less depressing though is this rather remarkable bit of photogrammetry down below, south of Cuba, and this bit that we're flying under. So that's pretty epic, isn't it? Part of me today, I did joke earlier, didn't I? But part of me today was very tempted to dive into DCS and just go blasting around in an F-16 around Bandar Abbas. I thought I better not, it might be frowned upon. Might get demonetised. The £3.60 that the stream would earn me. American 1202 with their screenshot out of Sangster, flying along, leading the pack. Jay. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Those little atolls and islands. Top of climb should be fairly soon. Just going to rotate that heading bug to be back in line with that needle. Ah, we're in, no way! Suppose you can't do it in flight, can you? Won't worry about it. 15 minutes ago, so the airspace of Pakistan and Afghanistan have been designated conflict zones. The airspace is operational still for airliner traffic, so that's basically the risk teams within each of the airlines will decide whether they want to take the risk or reroute elsewhere. The UAE have got some restrictions and airline avoidance measures in place, as well as Jordan and Lebanon. But the airspaces of Israel, Syria, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar and Iran are closed. And that's as of 1500 UTC. According to Flight Radar 24's status update 15 minutes ago. It's all kicking off. Oh, my butcher is in Perth at the moment, and on Tuesday he's supposed to fly back. And I was saying to them this morning while I was in there, some of the other guys in there, I was like, well, how's he going to get back? He's probably going to have to do like the old school, way of like going for the US first. He's probably going to have to go Perth to Sydney, Sydney to Los Angeles, Los Angeles maybe on a BA flight or an American Airlines flight all the way back to Heathrow. That's probably what he's going to have to do if he has to get back on Tuesday. And I'd already personally be proactively probably looking at changing that flight pattern, but that'd be so expensive, really, wouldn't it? But that's because he was routing through Qatar, I think he said, with Doha, so that's completely buggered. Yeah, it could do that way actually as well, Ashley. I think because he's booked through Qatar and Qantas, I think, or just Qatar, I forget which. I'm thinking like airline partnerships. But I need him back, he does me a good rolled chicken. I mean, I did say to the other guys in there today, I was like, there are worse places in the world to be stuck. I would much rather be stuck in Australia than be sat here watching the news, wondering if we're going to get dragged into it or not. So, in what sense, Andrew? Like, what if a flight was non-stop and high altitude over the Middle East? But when they started lobbing missiles? You'd see them, certainly at night time you would see them, and you'd probably absolutely cack yourself if you were the pilots, and you'd be straight on the phone to the company saying there's missiles being lobbed about, what's the quickest way out of this bit of airspace that we're finding ourselves in? And that's probably what most of them would be thinking. The airline would then tell them, you know, where to route, how to route, whatever it might be. So Ashley says, you could argue we're already dragged into it already. The latest statement from the Prime Minister: British planes are in the sky in the Middle East to protect our people, our interests and our allies. Here we go. Get your spades ready. We'll be in the trenches. Enjoy flight sim while you can. Maybe we could go and knock on the RAF's door and, hello, I've got 36 hours in DCS, but I've got like almost 2,000 hours flying aeroplanes in flight sim, so can I have a job flying your C-17? Yeah, well, so allies, one of those is definitely Qatar, so one of the strategic kind of mission plans, I would imagine, for the RAF would be to protect Qatari airspace. We've got an entire Typhoon squadron that is now been shifted out into Qatar. Is it It's not Al Udeid Air Base, is it? It is, yeah, Al Udeid Air Base. I think it's where all of our Typhoons have been based, and it's there to bolster the Qatari Emiri Air Force as well with their contingent of Typhoons. So I would imagine there's an element of working with them to protect their airspace and their land. And for the US, Al Udeid's pretty big as well, isn't it? So by virtue of that, we would be protecting their airspace, but protecting the Americans as well, using Al Udeid. I just wish I never sold my shares in defence contractors. And naively, I've kept my airline shares. I would imagine I'm going to get massively stung on Monday when the stock market opens again. Yeah, that's what I'd imagine is taking place at the minute, David. It's hard to tell though, isn't it, until we get confirmation. When we hear about it, it'll have already happened. It depends how it escalates. If it escalates to the point where because Iranians are in survival mode effectively, aren't they? They are, for want of a better phrase, trying to drag the region into the escalation of conflict, which is why they're lobbing missiles at the UAE and all of the kind of American bases in that region to try and drag those nations into it as well, put pressure on the Americans. It probably won't work. In the meantime, in the UK, we've got bloody the Green Party that are surging when they've got absolutely no clue how to defend a nation, and they're on about removing our nuclear capability. Multiple injuries reported after Kuwait International Airport has been targeted by a drone 4 minutes ago. Breaking news. Fire is breaking out in a luxury Dubai hotel during a missile attack in Dubai. And the region is now effectively in massive war. There's a free-falling missile that's hit the ground in Doha, injuring members of public. All over the place, Jan. To be fair, you could be looking at but what country are you in, matey? Sky News in the UK, BBC News in the UK, Reuters is a good one as an international news agency, but they started to lock all of their stuff behind a paywall, frustratingly. I mean, you got all this, and like Mexico's still kicking off. Reuters is a good one, I would say. There's a new thing that I found called Grounded, a new news app, and effectively you put your interests in, and it'll ping you all the news. But what this app does, called Grounded, annoyingly it's payware, so I haven't signed up to it because there's a fee of like 10 quid a month. But what it does is it gives you a summary of what the news articles are based on both left and right-wing media reporting, so you can look and compare against the narratives that both different sides of the media are offering. And it's a proper groundbreaking app, but I'm not paying 10 quid a month or whatever it is to get that. Yeah, I've been following it quite closely. Even during the stream today, I've been kind of just watching the news refresh because this is key, isn't it, now? The problem is the Iranians have got a regime run by an extreme ideology. And that ultimately that is what this is all about. Yeah, multiple injuries reported after Kuwait International Airport was targeted by drones. Several employees have suffered minor injuries after it was targeted by a drone. And the Directorate General of Civil Aviation in Kuwait said that the attacks caused damage to the airport's Terminal 1. The authority confirmed the situation is under complete control by the relevant authorities in the country, and that the safety of travellers and workers is a top priority. Fire has broken out near the entrance of Fairmont, the Palm Hotel in Dubai, after debris reportedly fell from the sky during an Iranian missile attack. According to the TUI website, it is a luxury hotel with gourmet dining options and an award-winning spa with pool with city views. But thanks for that little weird bit of add-on. Oh yeah, I see what you were on about, Ashley. So Keir Starmer is making a statement after this morning's strikes on Iran. British planes are in the sky as part of a coordinated regional defensive operation to protect our people, our interests and our allies. As part of a massive, a wider statement. Our forces are active. Planes are in the sky today as part of a coordinated regional defensive operations to protect our people, our interests and our allies. As Britain has done before in line with international law, we've stepped up protections for British bases and personnel to their highest level. We're reaching out to UK nationals in the region to support them. Blah, blah, blah. Is it Ground News? Do they keep so they're definitely sponsoring some YouTubers, but not. I didn't realise Mental Pilot was. Ground News it's called, but they're kind of new. They're actually a Canadian company. I heard about it watching the Trigonometry channel. It's definitely like interesting because of what you know, the fact that it kind of like gives you both options and gives you the balance between the two, the blind spots. But again, like, I'm not paying for that. It's what is it? Vantage. See the full picture. £7.33 a month. Builders and basically 90 quid a year. Premium is 30 quid a year. And then you've got Pro, which is essential. Oh, that's only 10 quid a year. But that's only headline only. No. If any of you are interested, maybe I could reach out to them and try and get like a code. Fastjet Performance is he's very right wing. Extremely right wing. Look at that. That's superb. I see, I don't watch Mentor Pilot ever since his nonsense Ethiopian 737 MAX. This one's personal video, that set me off no end. And I've basically despised the channel since. It can, can't it, Mathis? It's superb. That, for point of reference, is basically the central kind of north of Cuba, Bahia de Peros. And then down below us we've got Cayo Guillermo, Cayo Santa Maria, a few little bits in the atolls. There's some tiny little airfields as well. In that bit that's just kind of off the screen down here, there's a tiny little airstrip called La Brujas, MUBR for 3-letter codes. That's nestled down there somewhere. Won't quite fit a 737 onto it though. Probably Badger, yeah. Yeah, I only heard about it because of trigonometry. Right, where are we at? Okumo. Fuel check. We have such varied chats on this channel. 5.3 tons of fuel. So potentially we're going to be ever so slightly behind our fuel estimate, but that's okay. What that does help us with though, I might as well just punch it in now, our fuel estimated landing weight at 59.8. Because we're going to be pretty bang on there, so we're going to go flat 40, 133, super short runway. Let's go into the charts. So, done that. On AV19. So the waypoint that we're going to be flying to is like all the way over here somewhere, way out of the screen. We can't see it. But effectively, when we fly on in, we're going to be routing in direct to Van Ed like this, from the waypoint called Tania. And then from there, max 210 knots, 3,000 feet for the initial approach fix, routing up to Atnor. That final approach, this RNAV onto runway 09, for which we have 1,547 meters of total runway length. The usable runway length is a little less than that though. I'd have to calculate that because that's in America money. 4801 feet. (1,463 meters), so less than Skiathos, but we'll be fine. This thing's got really good braking performance. Mathis, you'll be pleased to know that we've checked the runway and there's no bump, and I haven't got 2 sceneries installed at the same time. Good news. Hurrah. We're going to come off right at the end of Alpha 4. Unless it goes really wrong, and then we'll stop around here where it says 27. And we'll call for the trucks. We'll see what happens. Yeah, should be good. The minimums for this approach, due to the extended night shift last night, very last minute it's got to me. We're going to go just for LNAV VNAV 425 on the decision altitude, so that's Barrow. So we'll set that using the WinWing hardware. 425, like so. And the METAR in Key West should hopefully be generated in the live chat in due course. We're doing all this prep now because we've got like 110 miles to top descent, so we may as well get ahead of it. There we go, altimeter 3004. So because we've left Jamaica, let's flick it over to inches of mercury now, and then we've got 3004, so slightly higher pressure. Good. Thankfully the airfield's pretty much near sea level as well, so that pressure panel can stay the same. That's pretty much done. So let's just get our head in the box and compare against the charts. So effectively we've got nothing from Tania. Go direct then to Vaned. So actually I can delete Google. Done. There we go, redraw that line. So that green line there is going to be roughly what we're going to do. Vaned for 3000, at or above it says. And then Atnor 1500 feet, at or above. Which is okay, because if you look at it, Busby 1500, that's when the glide path angle begins. So that's a 5 mile final. On the next page, runway 09, so we're going to go fix. Runway 09. Just going to school in some extended centre lines. So we'll go for 5 miles, just as a marker there to ensure that we've got that fixed ring just before the glide path starts, so we can visually see at this point we have to be at 1,500 feet, and then we're going to be on our way down. And then we'll do 12 miles we don't really need. We could do 8 miles. 273. So that gives us a couple of those. On the descent forecast, that QNH, the altimeter setting is now, what is it, 83004. So we're going to be on our 09 via Vaned. Jolly good. How have you been, Mathis? Hope you're well. Right, I think we're basically ready for it. Got all the descent winds. We're not expecting any holds, we've done our fixed rings. And our performance calculations are ready to go. There we are. So hopefully over the next 2 weeks, if Tapsi's okay, bearing in mind he's in Israel, we're hopefully going to be expecting an Embraer 175 livery for Osprey Regional. But I'm still looking for some livery artists that can help us paint PMDG fleets. Tapsi no longer wants to paint the 737s, so we have the 737-800s, but basically I need to onboard somebody that can help paint the 737-600 and the 737-900 and 900ER as well. So if you know anyone that's a decent content creator that might want to get involved, then please reach out to them and let them know, be interested. They naturally have to want to do it and enjoy it, as Zato and Tapsi and Co do. I'm trying to remember the steps for on-up approaches in this. But we've got a real short runway to touch down on at the new MKStudios Key West as well, which is very nice. All the links in the description. And again, as a reminder, Montego Bay that we touched down on in the middle, the end of Sector 1, that is freeware from Sim Updates, World Update 16 for the Caribbean World Update. So definitely check that out. You don't need to go and buy a payware scenery for that. It's a wonderfully created handcraft scenery. I think it was done by Gaia. If you're interested in joining Osprey Airways, then check out BritishAvGeek.com. Got all of the details. We are around 10 to 15% of all of the flights at any one point in time on the New Sky platform, and we're also an official VATSIM virtual airline partner as well, which is epic. Currently we've got 8 flights online in VATSIM. 4 of them I think probably us. So what have we got on that METAR? Winds 120 at 9, so we've got a crosswind for us, 9 knot crosswind to contend with. That's going to be pretty spicy actually. 26 degrees, dew point 22, odometer 3004. A lot of TCAS that's appearing around us at the moment on that little display, on the nav display. So the one on the left is an A320neo going to Bogota. One in front on the right is going to wherever SKU is. Santiago de Cuba. And then the other one in front is Jay, who we are catching up with. I think he's still effectively, what, 20 miles ahead? Yeah, about 20 miles ahead. Got to turn the heading collar to 10 as well. Do that now, then I'll need to remember to reset that. And we're going to set auto brake 2 for touchdown, but we'll then revert to manual brakes when we touch down as well. So we're going to have to obviously slam the brakes on pretty firm. Let's keep that heading bug moving around. Dog chase plane, rendering the aircraft hollow. When you load back in, it always stutters. There's a massive divide there across the ocean. That's pretty cool. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to press that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and you'll be able to join us in the live chat. It's amazing. We've got like almost 400 people watching the stream so far at the minute. Very exciting. And that ping that we just got was auto air traffic control. Oh, that's very different. Basically, they ping you like generic things that can help vector you in, which is a really smart little system on VATSIM. Miami Center advises cross 30 miles east of Key West at and maintain 8,000. Key West altimeter 29999. No separation services provided. That almost contradicts what we had in the live chat. Altimeter is now 3,000 according to Navigraph. It's a little bit of unstable weather. Yeah, so that METAR in the chat's a little off as well. So what have we got here? Forecast. We'll go for the one that's on VATSIM. Oops. Which is 29999. We therefore change that on the primary flight display as well. But we're doing a bit of a non-standard arrival here because most of the arrivals are all designed for all of the flights to descend from across the US, not really anything from the south going into US. So we're being a bit ad hoc today. It's been a good 2 sectors. Great shout, Badger, for coming up with the route today. Something miles top descent, so let's go cinematic for a bit. Don't forget, if you're flying around the Caribbean and the US, CTAF is the running frequency when you're near to the airfield. So in our case today, CTAF at Key West is 118.2 for our arrival, in lieu of any controllers online. Okay, one waypoint to go. We are now inbound Vanad. So, $40 miles. Hey, Sky Vagrant, welcome matey. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. Nice. Do you fly the C750 quite often? Because I don't know if it's in the new Sky fleet, but we could add it if you wish. Don't forget we've got that little blimp that's over the sky at Key West, which if you missed it at the start of the stream, I'll show you. I'll load up what they have in the scenery. So they've got this literally tethered at like 4,100 feet, as is the case at Key West for real. And it's basically like a massive floating airborne radar for like anti-narcotic work. But it is in the scenery, which is pretty cool. So we might not see it actually this way, but we saw it on the departure, unexpectedly. I said I'd like to see it there, didn't think it would be there. I was very pleased to see it there. For those of you watching as well, if any of you kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to pull the pin now and I'm going to give the FSS E-Jet experimental versions a go, since we've run a load of videos and the tutorials covering it. Because I've seen, certainly over the last couple of weeks, a massive uptick of people purchasing the FSS E-Jets, which is great to see. Providing you have the experimental branch, it's really enjoyable now. They've done a great job with it. Holds, big, highly requested thing. That is coming in the next few weeks apparently. It's been active in their beta branch for a few weeks, which I don't have access to. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we'll have it, and we'll therefore be able to do another video just covering kind of how to fly holds and things with the FSS E-Jets. If you are watching and you're thinking, well, what about the Aerosoft A340-600, then I'm on the preview queue for that, so just waiting for the go-ahead from the Aerosoft team. Very excited to check that out. Big super stretched A340. Naturally we'll have to add that to the Osprey Airways fleet if it's decent, which, you know, Thales are involved. It'll be my first experience of a Thales product, but nobody has anything bad to say about Thales. So very, very excited for it. Better set our course needles actually to 093. Not that we're tracking any VORs or anything, but nevertheless, I'd like to just have it there as a visual cue. We have got a 7-8 knot crosswind and a very slight tailwind component of like 2 knots, which is not ideal, but part of the challenge. ultimately. Yeah, I think when we stream it, Dursa 2, for a preview, we should, whatever route we pick, or when we do a, well, actually not when we preview it, when they release it, if we do like a release day stream or a stream on release week, if I'm busy on release but can do another couple of days after, for example, then yeah, I think having a bespoke limited time tour for the A340 release would be quite cool as well, like we did a few days ago for the route we did. Rightio. LNAV, VNAV, path, FMC speeds, auto brakes set, parking brakes off for the landing later on, and we've got the pressure panel set ready to go as well. We've checked all the data, let's get it on the ground. Look at those seas. MSFS is superb. That's top of descent. Yeah, they did Sky Vagrant. And Virgin Atlantic had A340s as well, naturally. Oh, they've changed the runway in real life at Key West. They've just switched to 27. Which changes it for us a little bit. Cool, change of plan. Rather urgently. It's going to be RNAV 27, tally, execute. I'm just going to go onto heading select mode a second, because we need to go into here, and we're going to do a direct to tally LNAV. Okay, so it's important we do this because of the super short length of runway. I ignored this previously into Santos Dumont in the E-Jets a few weeks ago, just seeing if it could do it before I hit the record video properly, and ended up in the water with a 5-knot tailwind. Silly me. But the chart's now slightly different. What have we got here? LNAV and LPV. So we'll just go LNAV 460 for the minimums. So slightly different type of approach. To be honest, I might just hand fly the whole thing. What do you think? What do you want to see? Let me know in the chat. Pop in there, hand fly, if you want to see me hand fly. Or if you want to see me kind of keep the automation on for a little bit, then do let me know. But we are up against it now, and we might have to do some delay vectors. In fact, I might have to use the hold at Burpee to lose some altitude. Let's see. We're managing it at the moment with a whole lot of speed brake. This poor jet, we've beaten it up today, haven't we? let's be clever with this. I'm going to go hold burpee. Do we do a hold at burpee? Or do we just do delay vectors? So what have we got? Burpee at 2,000 feet. And then tally at 3. Oh, we've got loads of time. Yeah, we've got to slow the jet down as well. I'm going to go for 2,600 feet per minute vertical speed mode. Much smoother. We've done a little bit of the work now and dropping the altitude. Still using a bit of speed brake. And I'm going to set 275 knots. In fact, to be fair, I could probably bring it down to 250 by the time we get to 275. We're going to be near to 10,000 feet. Up to 250, I think. This can take a beating. It's so good. And effectively we have in 20 miles a nice long straight-in approach. Although my fixed ring's going to be slightly out of kilter. Two 7-3 at 8, so it's going to be runway 27. Night 3 at 5. 273 at 8. God, we've given ourselves a bit of work to do. 73 at 8 and 093 at 5. There's our extended centre lines. 270, 273. I'm just going to set this as a course bug as a reminder for me, not that we're using it. Hope you've enjoyed today's live stream, folks. When we do get on the ground, we're going to have another little look around and explore some of the additional things at the MKStudios Key West that we've not explored at the start of today's journey. Go for 220. Speed brakes still out, seatbelt signs are on. Let's get lights, signs, pressure panels looking good. No stress. Speed's coming down nicely here. We're heading select. I've got to be a little bit gentle, so I've only gone for like 20 degrees bank angle. I'm going to go delayed vectors. I'm going to change to Key West 1875. Looking out for that balloon. 230. Let's get rid of this music. Awesome. Key West traffic, Osprey 165, Boeing 737-800, 8000 altimeter 2999er, and we're going to be inbound tally for the RNAV runway 27 approach. We'll report final Key West traffic. Okay, speed's checked, we'll go for flap 1, that's going to just help us extend flaps, increase lift but also increase drag. In fact, we're good for flap 5 as well, so more flaps, more lift, more drag. That's going to help us, so I'm going to go for flap 2. Oh, 18.2. Jeepers. Yeah.
US traffic, American 1202, 10 mile final runway 25. Key West.
Key West Osprey 165, Boeing 737-800 inbound Tali 5000 altimeter 2999er inbound for the RNAV approach runway 27. We'll report final Key West. Look at that little road. That's the one that goes all the way, links all the way back to Miami, isn't it? Okie dokie. So speed's looking pretty good now. Profile's looking pretty good. I'm ignoring Tali. And we're going to go back to full bank angle. I've got to worry that there's an American 144 that's just hooning in onto 09 anyway. But we've got to turn in because somewhere over here is a balloon at 4,000 feet that I don't want to hit. Can't see it. Enough. Awesome. Burpee is like 12, 11 miles final still, so we can keep the speed up.
American 1202, 4 mile final runway 25. Key West.
Deep brake arms. So we
traffic, Air Shuttle 4050 sending out at 8,200 direct chips, and for the RNAV, runway 9er, US.
a little bit sky vagrant, but there's elements of it that's really nice as well. But we've managed to get ourselves nicely sorted out on that path. Now, if we go out to this view here we go. Let's see if we can spot that blimp. There it is. There's the tethered balloon. What a view that is though, how amazing. A little bit wishy-washy on the bottom there, you can see that tiled line, that ruins it, but otherwise, really nice. Where's that shuttle? Was it Shuttle 144? Is that what he declared himself as, or is that someone else? Yeah, he's at 7,000. on Ash 4050.
Key West traffic American 1202, clear runway 25, taxi 58. Key West.
I think we're going to get absolutely buggered by these guys flying in on 09. Key West traffic, Osprey 165 is turning final runway 27, 11 miles to land. C1500.
Traffic.
Key West traffic, Osprey 2472, descending through 5,900 feet, expecting the RNAV approach for runway 27.
Where?
9 nautical miles to the west of Tally.
Gone. Okay, final approach course. Glide path vertical speed is set. Okay, speed 180. Speed check, flat 5. That's all set, that's all good, they're all set, and we're ready to go. Yeah, cool. Get down. 5 mile final. 160 till 4 DME, FAC and GP, good. And what's the mist for this? It's going to be climb 3000 direct at north. That's set. Speed check, flat 15. 133. 138. Start winding it down.
1,000.
Key West traffic, Osprey 165, short final 27 to land, Key West. My auto throttles. I have control. A lot of work to do with this. We're still moving the speed down. Recycle the flight directors. Get down 3 green, flaps 40 green, or brake 2.
Approaching minimums.
Good, it feels steep.
Minimums.
Continue. Speed, speed, speed.
300.
11 knot crosswind. Squirt power there.
200.
Wowzers. Here we go.
100.
Accuracy, not butter. Looking ahead. Down. And reverse green, manual braking. Gently off the brakes. and gently off the reversers. Loads of room. That's going to be a firm landing. Flaps up. Ground spoilers disarmed.
Key West traffic Osprey 2472 inbound Burpee, 13 nautical miles, runway 23. Correction, runway 27, Key West.
Key West traffic Osprey 165 is vacated, runway 27 and Alpha taxiing to the apron, west. There's a runway like that, you know, the touchdown marker for example went behind us. I was probably another second away if we hadn't touched down at that point from just initiating a go around and going again. Let's pop that on. Ropes can come off. Oh, wave views available. Lovely. Hard landing, still got 10 nice master cautions for the air conditioning and the anti-ice systems. That's fine. We were stand 1 initially, weren't we? So let's get that custom GSX profile fired back up. Terminal 1, gate 1. No follow me required. Definitely stutters from this current version of GSX. But we're down. What if the brakes are cooked? Ah, they're okay. So here it is again. MKStudios Key West. Looks really good. We'll check out the signature Aviation FBO as well when we park up and all that sort of stuff after we shut down. We've got parking stands wise. We'll go back to stand 1 because that's where we kind of we began our journey today, so it'd be nice. Got to turn the taxi lights on, but hey ho. We are parking anywhere now. Put the flight directors off. Let's get her on the line. Weird, that didn't feel like a 3-degree glide path angle. That felt like a lot. Yeah, it was like a little bit steeper. A bit of maybe a trick of the eyes because of the trees so close to the edge of the runway.
And Key West traffic Osprey 2472, 5 nautical mile final for runway 27, Key West.
I can't feel my arms. Parking brake is set. That's all good. 1 and 2. Very good parking.
Thank you, West traffic Osprey 2472,
Nice.
short final runway 23.
And operations
Key West,
chocks.
correction, runway 27. Key West.
Oh look, there we go. We got Gangnam Style. Happy days. That's all good. That's all set. Beacon, beacon, beacon. Anti-coals. And quickly jump out so we can go. Ah, blugger. That was very short final. Sims froze. requested boarding. A much smoother rollout than mine. He's actually using the runway.
Key West traffic, Air Shuttle 4050 is on 8 mile final runway 27 Key West.
Good effort, Ian. Missed your bloody landing again. GSX is mega stuttery. It's definitely causing the issue. Umberto will tell you it isn't though.
Key West
It
traffic,
is.
Osprey 2472, exit the active runway and taxi into the gate. Key West.
It's because there's a ruddy jetty. Right. New sky. Let's check out the score. How did we do? That firm touchdown. Maybe a 9 out of 10? Oh, 10. Happy days. Firm, but actually it was bang on at 127 foot per minute, 1.19 G. Did a bit of delay vectors to manage that speed from that last minute kind of change of runway. We arrived 10 minutes early. Look at that. 13,500 didgeridoo dollars profit. Bosh through the tail. Open left entry. We need GSX integration, really, don't we? Because it's, this does my head in. Yeah, GSX is definitely stutterfest at the minute for some reason. What did we not check out? We didn't check out the fire trucks. Custom fire trucks. Look at that. Rosen Bowers by the looks of it. Looks very similar to the ones at Heathrow actually. God damn the stutters. Right. FBO. There's Ian.
US traffic, Air Shuttle 4050 is on short final runway 27 Key West.
So this is Embraer 170. Oh, bugger off GSX. The second we activated it, it was stuttering all over the place. I attempted to kill QATL and see if it is this GSX problem. Where the hell has a Velo come from? God, that looks fast, doesn't it? Jeepers! Awesome touchdown. I'm going to get rid of GSX just to see what it does. Closed. Now if it continues to stutter, maybe it's the scenery issue. Just realised it says Fly Navy in the background. Good effort. Right, what have we got down here? Oh no, the stutters are still here. Maybe it's a scenery thing. Got a little bit of flickery textures there. Oh, hello. Interesting. Very strange little bug. There have been a few of those flickery textures actually, even on the ground today. They put those little blocks in place so you can't go in. That's a shame. That looks very nice. Nice to look into it from the outside though, I suppose. Great wood panelling.
Key West traffic, 4 flight 869 entering a left downwind 27 Key West.
Ashley says that bug is already reported on the ground and will be fixed in the next update. Awesome. Let's get chase plane up. This is still experimental naturally. So it does some weird things, but it does allow us to just have a bit more custom control over kind of speed at which we pan around. So we'll make use of that for a minute. We go through here, we can, lovely. I kind of want to go and see like the bits that say Fly Navy and the tower off in the distance. Here comes the Brat. Runway textures are very good. Awesome. It's the tower. Or a tower. Can't be the actual tower, can it? But maybe it is the actual tower. Where was that Fly Navy post? There's a lot of stutters here. Oh, it's all the way over there. Chuffer neck. That is the actual tower. That's amazing. Right. Let's quickly whiz on over this way. See what's over here. Because you got the shipping terminal as well. It almost kind of makes me laugh when you get like a building plonked in with a load of detail on it, but then nothing else around it. The little Asobo ships in the backdrop over there. Yeah, something is not right with this level of stuttering here. And I thought it was GSX. Done these complexes as well. This is quite nice because you get the opportunity to sort of like see the apartment buildings and some of the hotels and things that dotted around the edge of the airports. I think that's quite good, just for that little bit of life around the airfield. There's no ball rat in this swimming pool though, like Fly Tampa's Corfu. Has anyone else got this scenery? And if so, do you have problems with the stutters here? Out of curiosity.
Key West traffic, 4 flight 869, turn left base, 27 Key West.
That. Got all these apartments. So there's definitely a nice touch. You've got a lot of custom trucks and everything here, so it's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff to see on the final approach, on short final. A couple of ships dotted around. Off, Jan. Over force throttle or something like that is called. Force over throttle, or I can't remember the exact name of it now, matey, without double checking, but hardware force over throttle or something like that. Hardware over force off, and that basically stops your hardware fighting with the auto thrust system. Effectively, that will solve that auto throttle issue for you, mate. So full flight was coming in base. Yeah, it's not called final yet. So you got like the kind of crash. Oh, this is not. I've got a 4090 RTX with amazing spec and all weird stutters here. Yeah, kind of the crash impact overrun pad, so it's quite cool. If you want to check out any of the terminal area, then go back and have a little look at the start of our journey today, and you'll be able to see all of that. What I'm just trying to do at the minute. Oh, Ian's the last one in. So we'll watch this. Is it 4 flight? Touchdown, see how he gets on. See, I only know that, Jan, because I had that same problem. That was the solution. And because the experimental version isn't supported officially, they don't really actively kind of help with people, understandably. Where is he? What plane is he in? Or is it a dinky one? Maybe it's a dinky one. Here he comes. It's a private jet. If you want to check out anything that we showed today, the PMDG 737-800 or anything like that, then check out all the links in the description, including links for this MKStudios Key West, which is very, very nice. Although a couple of the weird glitchy textures, Ashley said they're going to be solved soon, which is great. I'm a bit conscious of these stutters though. Keen to know if anyone else has had the same sort of problem. Wowzers, that looks fast because he's small. And he's down. Literally, as I say the word stutter, it stutters. So there's a weird render there, LOD. See that? Very weird little over tile. It's like when you get a little bit further away, it kind of appears, but otherwise, very, very nice. Massive thank you to you wherever you are in the world for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the 2 sectors today in the PMDG 737-800 flying from Key West to Montego Bay and back again on the VATSIM network. Big thanks to all of you folks that flew along as well. Hope you enjoyed the route. Thank you to Badger for creating the route. But in the meantime, as always, I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend wherever you are in the world, whatever you might be doing. Stay safe and enjoy Flight Sim. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.